Morgan SLV here. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Once again, let's go over gold and silver, get that out of the way. There's some things I want to discuss about gold and silver today. Gold today is $11.96, up 10 bucks since yesterday. Silver is $18.13, up 46 cents. It's July 22nd, 2010. Right now, the current ratio as of this morning is 65.9 to 1. Now, over a period of years, if you analyze what the relationship normally is with gold and silver, normally meaning over long periods of time, you're talking between 12 and 16 to 1. Okay, so right now, if gold was to go to say 12 to 1, it'd be somewhere around 30. Or excuse me, if silver was to go to 12 to 1, it'd be somewhere around 30 bucks an ounce. Don't hold me to the math, but you guys get the general idea. The key catalysts are this: that silver's consumed, gold is hoarded. We all know that. I think we all have a grip on that. I mean, I got gold right here, right? I'm never going to do anything with that except have it on my finger. So when you're talking silver, it has many things pulling for its attention. You have industrial use, you have monetary use, you have people are starting to hoard silver at this time. So you have many things that are going to draw it nearer to that 12 to 1. And I don't think that, let me preface this next statement with this. I don't think I'm going to ride the train as long as this takes to happen. I heard anywhere from 5 to 10 years that silver will actually pass gold because it's rare. There's less above ground supplies of silver than there are of gold, and that's the first time in history. So I don't think I'll ride the train that long. Another thing that I've been thinking about, as you know, is my overall goal is at the most opportune time that I feel that I can just hold my breath long enough to make this happen. I plan to buy rental properties with my silver, or at least a large chunk of it. And the deal is this: I was listening to a guy last night. Don't quote me on his YouTube channel. He was saying this. He believes. Now, Mike Maloney says that in 1980 you could buy an average priced house for 1,000 ounces of silver. Okay, in 1980, an average priced, medium price home in the U.S., a brand new home for 1,000 ounces. He says he believes this next time it'll be less than 500. The person I was listening to last night, which by the way is a pretty sharp guy. He's a subscriber of mine. I just can't remember his YouTube channel. I apologize for that right now. He's thinking between 100 and 200 ounces of silver. Now, as you all know, my goal is 4,000 ounces. So I've got a ways to go, but I feel like I may have enough time to get there. If I don't, I'm already halfway there anyway. So, but if I can get there, and it is between 1 and 200 ounces of silver to buy brand new homes, I'm going to tell you right now, what I fantasize and what I see myself doing is just rolling into a neighborhood and grabbing very, very late model homes, because as you know, rentals, they get tore up a little bit, and I don't want to have to go through all the repairs that I would have to with older homes. The other thing is this: one of the things that I learned is in the last depression, the average person was paying 2% in rent of their income. Now that is a shocker. So that really, 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 really rocked my boat as far as, wow, so wait a minute. If I'm going to be buying homes, at first I thought, well, maybe I'll put half down on each home. I got to believe to keep myself sleeping soundly, I'm probably not going to do that. A majority of the homes that I buy, I am going to buy cash because I don't know what I'm going to make on rent. Now, I believe that eventually, the markets will self-correct. And maybe it's going to be my children, my heirs, that are going to benefit for all that. I don't know, but I know that I'm going to lay the tracks for a solid foundation for the future of my family. I suggest you guys check into it. So let's go over deflation. Deflation in the last depression, that's what caused closures of banks, caused closures of businesses. And it ultimately unemployment exceeded 30%. Ben Bernanke says he will never let this happen. Basically, he said he'll print money forever. Now that's not his exact words, but that's what he's kind of trying to get across is, well, and one of the things that he said is, well, they didn't have a printing press back then, because they were on a gold standard and whatnot. And now that we're off the gold standard, he can just full throttle and just put out, even add to the blizzard of money that's out there. That is our world reserve currency. Another thing I want to go over, getting back to gold and silver. The definition of a bull market is higher highs and higher lows. And, I kind of had a long conversation with a really good friend of mine. I've known him since 8th grade. His guy's name's Mark. Last night. And pretty much all he could talk about was the fact that he finally got a job with benefits. He doesn't make much money hourly, but he does make... he does have good benefits, and he seems to be okay with that. And one of the accounts he talked about was his PERS account. I said, well, you realize, the PERS account's really messed up right now because they had invested in homes, in real estate, and we all know what happened with that, right? I mean, it blew up. The other thing I told him is, I said, look, the bottom line is if it gets really scary out there, which I believe it will, your benefits, you might as well just wad those up and throw them out the window. Let me give you a classic example. My father-in-law is now 80 years old. He's been retired for some 30 years. And now, not only are his benefits getting beat up, they're going to, I guess as of January 1st, 2011, they're going to charge him taxes on his benefits. Okay, now, what I've been trying to get across to people is this. Look, you really need to pay attention to thinking you're just going to ride out the rest of your life on some magical promise that was made by your company, backed by whatever, backed by the government if you work for the government, or a civil job. You've got to ask yourself, this is what you have to ask yourself. If I don't have any precious metals, okay, as a hedge against inflation, and the you-know-what hits the fan, and my benefits get beat up or changed or eliminated altogether, what am I going to do? And that's one of the things, as you guys know, that I always want to get people to do is study. So anybody out there that kind of thinks, well, I'm immune to it, I got news for you. No, you're not. I had one guy tell me, well, Dodge is too big to fail and the U.S. is too big to fail. And it was in one of my other videos. And I looked him right in the eye. I said, you know what? Eventually China, Japan, India, they're going to want something. Okay? Giving them all these paper promises from the U.S., is a recipe for disaster. And they know it. They know there's trouble in town right now, and they're talking about us, and they're talking about the fact that Bernanke's going to drop money out of helicopters. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: be very wary of entitlement mentalities. All right, I don't have that. I am not waiting for the government to do any flipping thing for my family at all. Hey, if it benefits me, great, but I am not counting on it. That's just a real issue. You guys really, I want you to really check into, as I get this ebook rolling, being able to grow some of your own food and be able to store food, be able to purify water. The other thing is, let's get off what I was talking about. Hey, please give Peter Schiff some of your support. Take a look at what he's got going on. I got to be honest with you, I'm super busy right now. It's a super busy time in my business. And so it's been a few days since I put out a video, but please give him a check. Check him out. The other thing is, please check into, being able to sustain yourself in case something happens. The guy I was talking to last night, I said, look, if you A, don't believe me, which I believe he does believe me, or B, don't have the money, which I don't think he has a whole lot, I said, go out and buy 10 ounces of silver and stick it under a pillow. It may get you through a rough time in the future. If all you can buy is 10 ounces, go buy it. Or if you can just buy, say, 10 ounces a month, just do it. Do it, close your eyes, and hope you never need it. One of the things that they said back in the Great Depression is buy 10% of your wealth should be in gold and silver, and hope you don't need it. Morgan SLV, out.